You're listening to By Way of the Sea, an 11-part original audio drama created by Eralore Studios in collaboration with Stay Busy, with vocal talent by Brenna Patzer as Elena, Seth Rosenke as Nils, Karina Hilliard as Lucia, John R. Smith Jr. as Captain Jeremiah, Enzo Leone as Silas, Gervais Weeks as Kwesi, and Sunny Snow as Bahia. With a mission to spotlight visual and performing artists through stories that showcase the strength of the human spirit, Eralore seeks to create a safe place and a celebrated stage for creative collaboration in the arts. Chapter 1: The Trunk.
I see you, little purple flower, bobbing back and forth. I wonder, do you see me? Let's see. If I tuck you right here in my hair, I can only keep you for a day. But if I draw you... There. Now I can keep you for today and for always. Oh!
Careful. I'm not as young as I once was.
And you are not as old as you seemingly act.
I wish I were acting. This last trip was more than I had prepared for. It's been a few weeks since I saw those moonbeam eyes of yours. How have you been holding up?
Quite well, thank you. I've missed you, Father.
Have you been off exploring more?
Of course not.
Then what is this flower?
Why, it is a Violetta Floris Magnificus. It means magnificent purple flower.
I know what it means. It means you haven't been listening to a word I've said. And I imagine our quarters are not orderly and kept like I asked either. Honestly, sometimes I wonder
On the contrary, all my chores are done, the shop is tidied, and I still had time to venture on my own.
I'll be the judge of that.
I'm not a child anymore. I know it's hard to believe, but...
I'm well aware of your changing state. Now, help me with my things. I need to get the carriage back to the coroner before sundown.
Yes, Father. I was expecting new fabric. Did they not have what they promised? Is it in the trunk?
No, Elena, the trunk is... No, it is not.
Was the trade not successful? Did they not like my garments? I made them all exactly to the specifications.
No, dear, it isn't that. Why don't you sit down? I was not on a trade.
Not on a trade? What do you mean? You took the dresses.
Yes, I did. And they sold at market, just as they always have. You are very talented with the needle. Everyone knows it, from here to the Hodel River.
Then I'm not sure I understand.
Elena, my love, I have not been forthcoming with you. Not for many months now. Well, perhaps not ever. Not when it comes to your mother. It's hard to speak of her. It always has been.
I know it is hard, Father. But the sisters say she is now in the kingdom of God. Is that not a good thing?
Not if it is the same God who took her from me, from us.
It was the fever who took her.
No, it was me. I took her. From you, from her home, from this earth.
You did no such thing.
Please, just let me talk. I never told you this, and I had hoped I would never have to. Living with the absence of your mother has been hard enough, but to know it was your father who killed her.
Father?
She was engaged. Her parents, they had arranged for her to wed a man, a duke of some kind. I don't remember all the details, only that the first time I saw her, I knew I was meant to spend the rest of my life by her side. And I told her such. I wish you could have seen the way her eyes lit up, like yours, like moonbeams piercing through the darkness of night. I knew in that moment, and she knew too, when she told her parents they forbade her to ever see me again. I was just the son of a farmer, beneath her in every way.
What do you mean, beneath her?
Her father was a count. She was born a comtesse, bound to become a duchess, destined for greatness. She had every need of hers ready to be met, not only by her parents, but by her future husband. She had everything waiting for her. And I stole it all when I brought her here.
Mother was a comtesse.
That's why we came here. She wanted to leave it all behind. She wanted love. She wanted life. A life she never got to live. Because of me. Because I stole her from her path. She'd still be alive if she married the Duke.
But then she would have never known love. And I wouldn't have you.
What good have I brought you? You are now the daughter of a tailor when you could have been a lady, the daughter of a duke.
I am the daughter of a man who loves with all his heart. I know love because of you.
I'm afraid love will never be enough.
It always has been.
Elena.
Yes.
The trunk. Open it.
These were hers.
And now they are yours.
Can you imagine? Me in town in a lady's gown.
You won't be wearing it in town.
Oh, of course not. I couldn't imagine ever getting these dirty. They are beautiful. You never told me that she...
My darling Moonbeam.
What is it?
I received word a few months back that your grandmother was ill. She wanted to make peace with your mother, to offer forgiveness and to see her one last time. I never told her of her passing. I couldn't.
Father, she died when I was 2. All this time. They thought she was alive?
It's more than that. They never knew about you either. Your mother was scared of what they might do to her, to you. She couldn't bear the thought of them taking you, hiding you, or worse. A bastard child would ruin the family name and imprison you to a life of shame. We didn't want that for you.
Father.
I promised her. I held her hand and promised her that I would give you a life free of shame and hardship, a life filled with experience and adventure and love.
And you have.
No. No, Elena, I have given you a needle and thread to piece together a life that was never your own. I have locked you behind the walls of this church, scared to ever let you face a world that is so hateful and ignorant, hoping no one would ever learn the truth of who you really are. And the life I stole from you, I have imprisoned you here because of my own fear, my own selfishness.
I don't see it that way.
The rest of the world does.
I don't care what the world thinks.
You need to. You need to learn to think like them, to act like them, to be like them.
Why would I?
To fit in. To fit into your new home. In your new life.
This is my life, Father. Having a few fancy dresses doesn't change who I am. This isn't about the dresses.
You are the last living heir to your family's legacy. It has all been entailed to you. It is now your duty.
No. They are not my family. You are my family.
It is your duty to carry on the family name.
Carry on?
Upon my visit to her, your grandmother, she arranged your marriage.
What?
With my blessing.
No.
You cannot accept the land and wealth without being married without a husband.
I don't want a husband.
Once you are wed, he will take ownership of the land.
Father, please listen to me.
And when you give him a child, your son will carry on your blood, your wealth.
It isn't my wealth. That isn't my life.
It is your life. It is the life you were destined to have.
This is not destiny. And this is not what Mother wanted.
A life without shame, without hardship. I cannot give you that. I can only give you struggle.
You give me...
a last name that will keep you below your rightful station.
This is not you. This is not you talking. Did she tell you this? My grandmother, did she make you do this? You have to change her mind.
She is dead, Elena. But before she passed, she gave her word and her honor. The arrangements have already been made. You leave tomorrow.
Leave? For where?
A ship's passage has been secured to Areta.
A ship?
You will travel to your husband. In many weeks' time, after you arrive, you will be wed. And then it will be his choice if together you return or if you stay.
Please don't do this. Please, Father, I'm begging you. I'm on my knees. I'll stop venturing into the woods. I'll make more dresses. I'll travel to market for you.
Elena.
This is my home. You are my home.
There is nothing I can do.
No. There is nothing you will do. I am not my mother. I am not a comtesse.
If only you knew how alike you are.
Chapter 2. The Pier.
I know you're not pleased with me.
Pleased? How could I be pleased? The very thing my mother ran from is what I'm being pushed to.
Your mother ran from a life of rigid expectations, a life demanding she be what she is not.
And I am not a wife.
Not yet, no.
And I am not a lady, or a comtesse, or a duchess. I am but a girl.
You are a woman. You have been for quite some time.
So should a woman not get to choose? The way Mother chose you? The way she chose me? I don't find it laughable.
You wouldn't. You would have been fairly young, maybe 4 or 5. I remember this conversation. I think we first had it when you wanted to play in the stream without your petticoat. You remember, don't you?
I didn't want the mud to ruin it. It was a nice petticoat.
It wasn't. It was something I'd pieced together from scraps. I'd patched it many times from sharp twigs and branches that you'd caught it on while swinging in the trees like a monkey.
That's why it was nice.
Elena, you are wise. You've read about far-off places. You have dreamt and written of worlds beyond our 4 walls. And yet, you know nothing of this world, other than what I have allowed you to see. To you, patchwork skirts are nice, because it is all you know.
That is not true.
No? Then please, enlighten me. What is so good about this life I have rustled up for you?
Our home.
It's a simple outbuilding for the church, intended for storage. It was never meant to be a house, only a temporary place of refuge until we could earn enough money for something more.
My birthday.
Everyone has one of those.
No, I mean, on my birthday each year, you bring me flowers. My favorite flowers. The ones from the open field behind the stables.
While others are receiving gifts of sweets, pastries, jams and jellies, books and games and toys.
I have never needed those things.
Because you've never known differently.
What I have is enough, Father.
Enough? Elena, I haven't seen much of the world, but I've seen enough to know You are one of the most beautiful souls in it. You deserve to be seen, to be celebrated, not hidden away, holding fondly to the remnants of what everyone else has. This world, this life, it decides what is good and what is not. You see it when you walk down the streets. Streets I have never taken you down because I didn't ever want you to feel less than. But in doing so, I have skewed your view of this world and what you deserve from it. You are being given a second chance at life, one I could not give to your mother. Take this chance.
I don't want it.
I knew you wouldn't. That is why I took it for you. The world has so much in store for you, more than you give it credit for.
You've always told me how hateful the world can be.
It can be. Your mother was the first person who ever looked beyond my given name, or my worn-out shoes, or my tattered jacket. She didn't see Nils, the son of a farmer, or the poor tailor's assistant. She saw Nils, a man with aspirations, with vision, with love in his heart.
I want to know more. About her. About my mother.
I don't...
You owe me this, Father. This is my last chance to know her. To know which parts of me are me, and which parts are her.
You're right. I don't know where to begin.
What did she look like?
Like you. Waving curls of blonde. And her eyes. They sparkled when she laughed, with little flecks of green swimming in the deepest blue you've ever seen.
Was she tall, like you?
No. But her height was of no comparison to her will. She was strong. Stronger than me, in brute and heart.
What else?
She saw everyone as equal. No matter where they came from or where they were going, she believed everyone had good inside them.
That is a beautiful quality to have.
It was her downfall. She thought everyone moved that way. She expected others to treat her with the same kindness and acceptance she gave them, and she was wrong. It is the same naivete I see in you, and there are days I am not sure if it was bred into you or if I have created it by holding you back and away from others.
But she made you happy.
She did.
And you made her happy too. Perhaps, maybe, if you let me stay, I too could find love. I could find the same joy and happiness that you two had, not across the sea, but right here by your side.
Do you think I'm happy? Alone? Without your mother? Without you? Elena, do not make the same mistake I made. Do not run from what the world wants to offer you.
All I meant was...
How can I make you see? I cannot give you gifts, or an inheritance, or property. I cannot dress you in silk and teach you to waltz. And I cannot bring you happiness when I have none of my own to give. Without her, I have nothing.
No, Father. You have me. And my love. And love is enough. I just need you to give that love to me.
I have. I've given you everything. Everything a man like me could give. And my love for you still flows now, and it will till I am cold in the grave, and maybe even after that, if I could ever believe in such a thing.
Then why send me away?
Because love, real love, is not selfish. It does not condemn you to be by my side, to live only by my ways, within my means, by my rules. Love is letting you be free to be and grow into all that you can be. And you are meant to be more than Elena, daughter of the tailor. I hope one day you understand.
So do I.
Oh, I pray. Please tell me you are Elena.
I am.
Aha! I must admit, you are not what I was expecting.
Well, we couldn't have her ruining her fine gowns before she arrived. I wanted to make sure she'd be comfortable.
Of course. Then you must think I'm a fool.
Oh, not at all. If I had a silk-stitched busk, double-loop bodice, I'd wear it every chance I could.
You know your fashion.
Perhaps a bit too well.
Well, we will have many more days and nights to talk of all things feminine, delicate, and beautiful. But We only have a few more moments before we must disembark. You were late.
My apologies, madam. Saying goodbye is not always an easy process.
No. I gather it is not.
Go with...
Lucia.
Go now, with Lucia. She will take you the rest of the way.
Tarjax! Take her belongings to her quarters.
Darling, come here. Take my hands. You will do great things. Remember, don't ask so many questions. Speak less, listen more. I've packed you all the ink I could find and borrow. When your heart is heavy, write. Draw. Imagine. But do not bring that heaviness forward. Do not let it guide you. Trust me. It will only create distance and grief in your heart. Instead, leave it on the parchment. And bring your husband joy.
I don't know how.
You've brought joy to all my days. And I shall continue to feel that joy knowing you will be taken care of. Till the end of yours. Shh, 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 shh. I love you, Elena. My darling moonbeam.
Off we go, darling. We must make haste.
Chapter 3. The Atlas.
As night falls and day is gone, I carry with me a joyful song.
Oh, now where'd you learn that?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Oh, the little ditty you were just singing. That's one of our favourites.
Oh, it's,
Oh, woman short of words. Oh, you don't come by those here frequently. I'm Captain Jeremiah Warren.
Elena.
I gathered. I take it Lucia's gotten you settled in then.
Yes, thank you.
Beautiful, isn't it? Though I have to admit I've never seen a sunset that didn't take my breath away. Okay, well, don't stand there too long. You'll either catch cold or fright, and neither of which you want. Is she simple?
No! Of course not. Don't you remember my first few days away from home? That hollow stare, the quiet voice.
You were never quiet.
Oh, hush you.
I will if you do.
That is not a simple girl. That is a very deep and complex one, which is why her heart is breaking and bleeding right in front of us. What should I do?
What helped you your first few days away from home?
There's nothing quite like a home-cooked meal.
Well, there you have it then. Take her down to the scullery, ease her nerves with a sip and a bite.
You think it will work?
Of course. Then once she's full, maybe she opens up and you can talk to her. Bosom to bosom, as it were.
I will see what I can do. Sip of whiskey? No? Let's see what else I have here. Aha! Biscuit or salted fish? I'm more of a biscuit lover, if you couldn't tell. They are the best thing to come out of this voyage. And since we just left port, they're still fresh and soft. Here, let me show you. Go on, try it. If you don't, I will. I told you.
You did, and thank you.
You are most welcome, dear. We can't have you showing up to a retta all skin and bones, now can we?
Skin and bones. Didn't leave me any meat now, Luce.
Now, what kind of lady would I be?
That's my point. You're not a lady at all, and we all know it. Toss me a biscuit before you let the princess eat 'em all. Now, give it here. Break is over. Don't tell Captain I took one of his biscuits, you hear? And I won't tell him about your secret stash of whiskey.
My lips are sealed.
I've yet to see that happen. Your Majesty.
I think I'd like to go to bed now.
Oh, don't let Silas get to you. He's harmless.
Silas?
Yes, he's Captain's first mate. Come a long way in his years with us.
Years?
You heard me right. He was just a wee little thing when we started to work the Atlas. In fact, he came aboard about the same time I did. I'd like to say we grew up together, but he grew up and I just grew.
Are you friends?
I'd say so, yes. I think it would be harder not to be friends, considering
Considering what?
this passage, the one you're about to take. Why do you travel? Is it on your own will?
No, it is not.
Neither was mine.
Do you know?
Maybe I don't. But judging by the shadows in your eyes, I think I know all too well.
I am not here on my own will. I wanted to spend my days in the forest, collecting moments of peace, foraging for dinner, surrounding myself with the ever-changing shadows of the leaves above me. This isn't the life I envisioned for myself. But my father has arranged my marriage.
And?
And? Is that not barbaric and unkind?
I think that depends. Did he do it because he wanted to be rid of you?
No.
Did he arrange your marriage in hopes of your despair?
Of course not. He
Then
just...
no! It is not barbaric or unkind.
I thought you would understand.
I do, Elena. You met the captain today, yes? For the first time?
Yes?
The first time I met him, I was in my bridal gown. And I was at least a few years younger than you.
Your marriage was arranged?
It was. And it was by far the scariest thing I could have ever imagined. You should have heard the stories I told myself about what kind of monster would marry a girl he had never met. I imagined him with tentacles and horns, eyes that would pierce your soul. And you know what? He is none of those things.
Do you love him?
Ah, is that your concern? Love?
My parents truly loved each other, and it has made all the difference. For them and for me. So to live a life condemned without love, it seems a rather reasonable fear.
I see. When I married Jeremiah, he wasn't a captain. He was the son of the fisherman who had just gotten stationed on a new merchant ship, and he was still young too. Not much older than I was. I never thought about love because I figured it was never going to be a possibility between strangers. I rid it from my mind.
I wish I could do that.
Not so fast. I was given permission to come aboard the ship, so long as I worked my keep. And between the stale breads and dried meats and the cramped, smelly hammocks in the room we all shared, I thought my life was doomed. This is what my parents traded for a sheep, a few chickens, and a barrel of fish? Is that all I was worth to them?
You were sold to him?
Traded, really.
I'm sorry, Lucia. That's terrible.
That's what I thought, until the first time we came into the town of Lorne. After a full month at sea, we were given a free day at port to explore, try new foods, meet new people. Jeremiah and I, we hadn't ever actually talked before, and we didn't really talk that much that day either. We just opened our eyes together. After that, I stopped thinking of him as my keeper and started seeing him as my doorway to new worlds. Little did I know that someday he would be the captain of that ship, and instead of stowing away in the scullery, I'd be navigating by his side, exploring the world and all it has to offer.
So you do love him?
Oh, perhaps you will find more than you expect of yourself, of your husband, and of your new life.
I hope so.
Life is short, Elena, and the world is... it's so very deep. Dive in. Let it surprise you. Oh!
Is everything all right?
Of course, that is just the twilight bell. It's time to retreat to our quarters. Here, take a biscuit with you. I imagine you will not sleep, and there won't be any left if you come looking in the middle of the night.
Will you take one too?
Oh, Elena, I already have a few tucked in my bodice.
Chapter 4. The Reef.
Another sleepless night?
I'm afraid so. I'm not sure which is worse, the rolling of the waves or the creaking of the ship.
It will get easier. Soon the sway of the ship will rock you to sleep instead of keeping you awake.
I look forward to that day.
Why don't you take a break from your pages and come up to deck with me? Some sunshine and fresh air will do you good.
Elena, lovely to see you again. You look less green than the other day. That's good.
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad you're awake. We're about to catch a glimpse of the reef. It's one of my favorite views in all the world.
And he'd know. He's seen most of it.
Well, you make it sound exotic and exciting.
It is.
Well, to you, maybe.
Don't pretend you don't like exploring new places and meeting new people.
I like seeing you explore new places and meeting new people.
Isn't that all that matters?
To me, it's just a port. To you, it's a playground.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Nothing at all. You keep me young.
Thank heavens. One of us needs to be.
How many ports have you seen?
Well, there is Neko Cove, Goshika Bay, Hiraith.
Too many to name.
But she'll try.
Oh, Silas, don't you have work to do?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He won the card game last night. Now Frickin' Riser is covering his duties.
You have to be one of the luckiest people I have ever met.
Excuse me. You seem to have forgotten your fateful escape from Tamar.
Don't get her started.
Oh, why not? I love that story.
Of course you do. And so does she. That is why we've all heard it 30 times at least.
Not me. I'd love to hear it.
You'll learn not to encourage her.
Go on, dear.
Thank you. Just a few years ago, we sailed into
few
Port Tamar.
years ago?
Many
years ago.
years ago, Jeremiah and I decided to take Silas to a pub.
It was his birthday.
How old were you turning?
Old enough to know better.
We just wanted to show him a good time. It was the first time he was allowed to leave the ship on a port day.
Captain Lester Champion had just died.
That was cause enough for celebration.
Aye.
So we drank gin, we drank vermouth, and we drank cognac.
Don't forget the rye. You bought every chap in that pub a rye.
Bought. She didn't buy anything.
I figured if we told the barkeep that it was Silas's birthday, that he would have forgiven our debts.
But that isn't the way the story ended, was it?
What happened?
Can you believe it? He insisted we pay for it all. Something about, we all have birthdays. He is no more special than anyone else. I was baffled. He clearly didn't know our Silas.
Right.
No, it would have been easy enough for one of us to come back to the ship and find some goods to barter.
But who needs goods when you have goods?
Not all problems can be solved with your breasts, Lucia.
I beg to differ.
Oh, so you...
I unlaced my whalebone stay, handed it to the keep, and simply offered him a bit of persuasion.
And you were okay with this, Jeremiah?
Why not? It's none of my business if the lad wants to wear a dress.
Oh. Oh, so you didn't show him...
No, of course not, Elena. I noticed when we arrived that he was wearing a pair of boots that I myself would wear.
And that was enough for him. Lucia was lucky enough to find the one barkeep that was more interested in her satins than the coins we owed him for our indulgence.
What you seem to forget, my loves, is that this is not a story of luck, but of perception. The world changes in front of your eyes when you change the way your eyes see the world and the people in it.
Oh! We're about to raise the sails so we can slow down over the reef. Now, we must let Elena take it in. Now, hold on to the rails. On my command.
Oh, watch this. It's my favorite part.
Ahoy!
When they raise the sails, it lets in all the sun and warms your soul. Here, put your arms out.
Like this?
That's right. Now, close your eyes. Can you feel it? Can you feel the world slowing down just for us? Suddenly, nothing feels so important than we can't just stop and breathe and think and be. It feels like we're floating among the clouds, doesn't it?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, come on now, at least try it. You'll never know true unless you first do try.
You are everything I was told wasn't possible in this world, and yet here you are. It's truly a wonder. Are you always such a visionary?
Me? I see you writing in that book of yours. I know there is wild imagination in there. I can see it, just aching to get out.
It was a bit easier to do at home.
Home. Ah. I suppose you are a bit homesick, yes? It took me a while, but after some time I started to realize that home wasn't a place. It was a feeling.
What does it feel like to you? Home?
You know, I've never had anyone ask me that before. I'm not sure.
To me, home is knowing you're safe. It's safe to be you, to speak, to dream, to be. It's like you can unzip your skin and be anything and everything you are. And to know that whoever you are, all that you are, is all right.
Now who is the poetic one? You'll find it again, you know? You're home.
Lucia!
Let me see what the captain needs. I'll be back. Will you be all right?
Of course.
You know, I was surprised to see you up. I wasn't sure we'd see you surface. Not unless you'd be floating belly up.
I'm fine.
Oh, I imagine. I suppose it's a very fine life in the castle. Nothing. I imagine you're not allowed to talk to the help, right? A sailor is below you. You know, you're right. If you look down, your crown may slip. And we can't have that now, can we? Don't worry. I know my place. It's written on my skin.
Port side! Port side!
Look! Elena, look!
Oh my, it's incredible.
Do you see? The corals and rocks. Look at the fish. Oh, a sea turtle. Do you see the turtle?
I see it. I see it.
Oh, and the colours. Elena, look at all the colours. That.
What?
No, not that. This. This is home to me. To be surrounded by colour and feeling and texture, to see something out of the ordinary and have it bubble up from within you, and soon those bubbles become a part of your soul. Home is living right here in this very moment. Home is diving into magic every chance you get.
Lucia, you are magic to me.
Oh, my sweet girl. Then perhaps that means you're on your way home. Chapter 5. The Storm.
There you have it.
Like this?
Just like that. Pull a little harder. That's it. Now hand it over.
Oh, I want to knot it. I think I finally got the hang of it.
All right, then. Show me how it's done. Well done, Elena.
Careful. If the prince saw you doing that, you'd lose the throne.
Oh, I don't know, Silas. I think any man would be impressed with what she'd learned in just a fortnight. No, I am.
I'm more impressed she got her hands dirty than I am by a few bowlins.
Now, if I remember correctly, it took you twice as long to learn a simple anchor hitch.
I was just 7.
And she's just a woman.
I am beginning to doubt that.
Pay him no mind. He's just worried you're coming for his job.
Thank you, Captain.
My job. I'm more worried about my share of the biscuits.
Did someone say biscuits?
Oh, now you done it.
How much longer until port? I miss my biscuits.
Less than a sennight now, love.
Salted pork isn't hitting the spot.
It just doesn't taste as good slathered in butter.
I think your insides are slathered in butter.
Oh, I know exactly what's inside her, and it's not butter.
Jeremiah!
What? It's just a bit of sailor humor.
But there's a lady present.
I don't see her. Not a one.
Well, I didn't mean me. I meant Elena.
Well, don't you dare call her that. She'll deny it.
What is he, Brecken?
Heavy gales and high seas, Captain. Moving in quickly from the east.
You marked it in the log.
Yes, Captain.
Let me have a look. Wind seem unsettled.
Should we redirect, sir?
Aye. Bring me the nautical charts. Silas, go to your command. Let's watch the wake and batten down the hatches.
Do you want me to alert the others?
I'd be fine. Lucia, take Elena down to her cabin. Elena, our lesson will need to be cut short today.
Is everything all right?
Of course, not to worry. Just get your ladies hunkered down before the rain comes in.
Storms are never pleasant.
Have you been through many?
Too many to count. And I'm still here to tell the tale. If that's not a good omen, then I don't know what is.
So you're not scared?
Scared? No. Jeremiah is a skilled captain. And besides, all storms, of sea and life, just come and go. They never last. But I do find that if I can keep my mind occupied, it passes the time faster and helps keep my nerves at ease.
How do you do that?
You mean besides whiskey? Well, I imagine you could write or draw in your book. For me, I like to sing.
Will you sing to me?
Well, I have never turned down the opportunity to perform for an audience, and I will not start now. Down by the shore my love awaits, with rod and line and fishing bait. When I see her lift her skirt, I roll with her down in the dirt. I'll have you know, these tar jacks are not a bad influence on me. I'm a bad influence on them.
Lucia?
All right. How about this? Lie with me. Here. Put your head on my lap. Now, close your eyes. This one is one of my favorites. When day is done and night is near, I close my eyes without fear, for I know my deed is done. I can rest, I need not run. So with a prayer in my heart, a new day comes, my new world starts.
Lucia! Lucia!
Something's wrong.
Stay calm. There is no use expecting the worst. That's no way to live. Wasting away your days in fear.
But
we must choose where we place our thoughts. Look at me. It's going to be okay.
Lucia, we cannot divert the storm. It's a tempest. It came in too fast. It's all around us.
Elena, you stay here.
no, please don't leave me.
I'll come right back for you. I promise.
Please.
Elena, behind every strong man is an even stronger woman. Captain needs my help.
I see.
Good. Your book. Right. It will ease your mind.
Lucia!
Silas! Jeremiah!
We were navigating to an island on the chart when
When what? What has happened?
The tars are preparing the rowboats, Captain.
The rowboats?
It's our only hope.
Jeremiah, talk to me.
We've run aground.
How bad is it?
The hull is badly wounded. We can't bail the water fast enough, and there's no chance we'll be able to free her in these conditions.
I need to get Elena.
No, stay with the captain. I will get Elena.
Silas, please.
I got
she
her.
is-
Come with me.
Silas, you surprised me.
I need you to listen. Let's go.
But Lucia said,
Lucia is with the captain. You need to come with me now.
let me gather my things.
There is no time.
What is happening? Ouch! My wrist! Silas! No, please! What are you doing?
I am saving your life against my better judgment.
My life. No, wait!
There is no time to wait.
Please! Where are we going?
Elena! Elena! Silas!
Lucia!
It's okay. It's going to be okay.
Elena, I need you to go with Lucia. Silas will row you to land.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Please don't make me go. I want to stay here with you, Captain.
There is nowhere to stay. Land is now the safest place for you to be.
Come, Elena. Follow me. Silas, take her hand. Help her in.
Big step, dearie, big step.
What about you, Captain?
We'll be right behind you. Lucia, darling,
I know.
Be safe. Silas, make haste.
Chapter 6. The Island.
That's the last of it, sir.
Are you sure there isn't any more?
You can't save the unsavable.
He's right, love. I'm afraid the rest is waterlogged or scattered across the ocean floor by now.
It's kind of pitiful, isn't it?
What?
The Atlas, sitting there, looking so sad.
I think she looks majestic.
Majestic? Impelled by rocks and dragging a broken mast?
I understand, Lucia. Sometimes broken things are beautiful.
And you would know.
The Tarjacks and I will make way for port in the rowboats.
It's too far, Jeremiah.
We can't just stay here. Our reserves are too low, and finding help's the only option.
Then let us come with you.
There's not enough room in the boats. Besides, we need all the muscle we can get to ensure the trip is steadfast.
And so Silas?
Silas will stay with you and Elena. You'll need some brawn to go with all that beauty.
I don't know. The princess can probably slipknot her way to safety.
Well, I can't. So I expect you to pamper me for our surprise little beach excursion.
Is it really an excursion if there are no biscuits?
Ugh, don't remind me.
When we return, I will bring you 2 baskets of biscuits.
And butter.
What do you think I am? Of course, butter.
We're ready, Captain.
Here, a tin of jerky. Surely there is fresh fruit here we can find. Take these with you.
You are too sweet, Elena. Thank you.
Captain.
Silas, take care of them.
Aye, sir.
I can't believe you're going to port without me.
Won't be the same.
There is still time to change your mind.
We'll be back soon.
What are you doing?
I want to see what remains.
Worried about your gem and jewels?
I'm worried about not having a suitable shelter come nightfall.
I don't think you're going to find what you're looking for there.
Aha!
Aha.
What is it?
Aha,
What have you
what?
found?
This will work. Silas, hand me your knife.
I will do no such thing.
Silas, hand her your knife.
Do you see those trees? If we cut the sails here, we can canopy them through the branches and create a tent.
How will they stay?
I will stitch them.
You will stitch them.
In my trunk. The ones the tars brought ashore, there's a sewing kit.
Oh, I will fetch it for you.
Careful with my knife.
I won't cut myself.
That's not what I'm worried about. Unlike you, I don't have many things. It's the only thing that's truly mine in this life. I don't see how you're going to do this unless the captain gave you sewing lessons while I slept too.
No, my father.
Your father?
My father is a tailor.
And a very good one at that, from the stories you've told. Here you are.
So, your father is a tailor, but you're a comtesse?
Take this corner, Silas. Walk it that way.
I want to help too.
All right. Hold this piece here. Okay, good. Now lie it down. Silas, will you give me a lift?
Into a tree?
Into that tree.
I'm not sure this is what the captain had in mind.
Oh, come on, Silas. Just give her a boost. Unless you're going to climb up there yourself.
All right.
Steady, please.
I'm trying. Your dress keeps slapping me in the face.
Some men would consider that a pleasure.
Lucia, can you find a few heavy rocks?
I'm on it.
Must you keep wiggling?
If you want a shelter for the night, then yes, I must.
Where shall I put the rocks?
On the corners of the sails. You can even bury them in the sand a bit. There. You can put me down now.
Huh. Incredible.
It may not be the same magic of the sails rising over the reef, but it will keep us covered and out of the elements.
And you made it look so easy too. Didn't she, Silas?
I'll start moving the salvaged items to our tent.
I think you impressed him.
That wasn't my intent.
Of course not.
My father warned me of people like him.
Like him? How do you mean?
Unkind,
At times.
ungrateful,
Perhaps.
selfish,
Indeed.
demoralizing.
All right, yes. Well, I know he can be all those things, and I apologize.
There's no reason for you to apologize, Lucia. You have done nothing wrong.
I have let it fester and go without notice.
He is infuriating, truly. I could never imagine treating another human being that way. Why doesn't he understand?
Understand?
Me, who I am, where I come from.
Is that what you seek? To be understood?
Of course.
Elena, can you hand me that basket of biscuits?
Oh, Lucia, I'm sorry we don't have any biscuits.
So then you can't hand them to me.
How can I hand you something I don't have?
Precisely. I know you want Silas to understand you, but you can't give away something you don't have. He's never been in your shoes, and you've never been in his. He can only understand you and others from his own experiences, from his own perspective of life. Do you see?
But I know that cannot be true. My father told me my mother saw everyone as equal. She saw the good in every person without ever knowing who they were. She didn't care where they came from or what they had done, and she did not learn that from experience. It came from her heart. Maybe if I just talked to him.
Elena, I have learned there is only misery to be found in demanding others meet us where we are. Peace, on the other hand, comes when we learn we cannot force another to understand what they are not yet ready to see. And furthermore, we cannot see in others what we refuse to accept in ourselves. We must learn on our own, at our own time.
How did you get so wise?
Wisdom does not come from books, just as love won't bloom with looks. I have so much more to give, because I let myself live.
I will stop expecting him to understand me. And maybe instead, I can simply hope to be seen.
Well, that you should have no concern over. He sees you, believe me.
Here.
What did you find, Silas?
I gathered the scattered clothing from the water and the shore. There's enough for us all to stay covered.
What a shame.
And one of the tars was smart enough to grab a hammock from the berth and a satchel of tins and cutlery from the galley.
That's good news.
Besides the lady's trunk, I found some rope, a pint of whiskey,
Oh, thank heavens.
and the captain's pipe. I found this chair, too, but the leg is broken. I figured if I
If you
cut
cut
the
the
other
others,
legs,
it
I
will
can
be
even it
even.
out.
What a wonderful idea. You know, between the two of you, I think our little stay here in paradise might not be as bad as you think.
Chapter 7. The Arrival.
Did you sleep any?
No. You?
Oh, you know me, I could sleep anywhere.
And you
And
have.
I have. Shh. Careful not to wake her. Let her sleep.
I don't know why you coddle her.
Coddle her? You seem to have magically forgotten the years I snuck you extra crackers.
Crumbs,
And fish.
tails.
And chocolate.
You know what I mean.
I truly don't.
You and the captain must be getting paid a hefty one for this. You treat her like
A human with kindness, with compassion for what she's going through?
going through.
Yes. Going through.
We are all stuck on this island.
Yes, we are. Together. And so we must make the most of it. And each other. You know, if you took the time, you'd see that you two are more alike than you'd like to admit.
Alike. Yes, of course. She gets to walk her fancy shoes on the boards I scrub.
Silas,
What?
not everything is as it seems. You aren't.
That's only because...
I gave you a chance to show me otherwise. Right? Maybe do the same for Elena. Oh, Elena, you're up.
I am.
Silas, Where are you going?
I need to get more firewood.
I still can't believe you finally got it started.
No, you stay. I'll go this time. You've been going back and forth all night.
I'm happy to go.
I'm sure you are. Stay. Rest. Talk. See?
Did you sleep any?
Better than I have been. The fire helped. Thank you.
I didn't build it for you.
Right, of course.
What are you... Are you... Must you keep scribbling in that book?
It's not scribbling, I'm writing.
For days on end? No one has that much to say. Not even Lucia.
It isn't all writing. Sometimes I draw.
You tie knots. You sew. You climb trees and build shelters. You read and write and draw. Hasn't anyone told you all that independence will scare away your prince?
Good, I hope it does.
Good. My mistake. Here I thought life without rope burns and chapped skin was what every lady dreamed of.
I'm not a lady.
So you've said. But the big heavy trunk of gowns and slippers says otherwise. You know, the captain could have gone back to save my things. But all I had was a few hankies and a tin of tobacco, which, if I'm being honest, I'd rather have now than some floral silk and bridal veil.
The veil!
This is no time for dress up, my lady.
The tiny weave. We can use the veil to keep out the flies from our tent.
And ruin it before the big wedding day. The prince really wouldn't like that.
Enough! Please! Please stop saying that.
There she is. Maybe you aren't a lady after all.
I never claimed that I was.
And I never claimed to care.
What is it about me that insults you so?
Everything.
I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific.
It's your attitude.
I beg your pardon. I am not the one with the attitude.
Of course you are. You're always looking down at me. You're doing it now.
You do not know what I have been
Look
through.
at you and your trunk of embroidered gowns, traipsing around my ship, all laced up, lifting your ruffled skirt to climb ladders, acting so dainty and delicate.
These gowns are not a reflection.
And your hair! You were born into this life with more privilege in your golden curls than I could ever work for in 3 lifetimes.
I cannot control my hair. I didn't choose my curls.
You got to choose this ship, this voyage. I didn't.
You think I chose this?
You're here, aren't you?
One day my father came home from travel to tell me that I am not who I believed myself to be, who I had been raised to be. He told me my hand had been promised to a stranger without my knowing, and that a ship awaited me in the morning to take me to a land I didn't know, to marry a person whose name I've never even heard, with a trunk of dresses I had never seen before in my life. This wasn't my choice. None of this is my choice.
I didn't realize.
How could you? You've been too busy making assumptions of where I come from to stop and see who I truly am.
Lucia was right.
About?
She told me that we have more in common than I wanted to see.
I imagine we do. The only difference between us is I know when to hold my tongue.
Silas! Elena!
Lucia, we're over here.
Come! Quick! Come!
Lucia, are you all right?
I'm fine.
But you're limping. What happened?
I said I'm fine. There! Look! In the water.
What is that?
Stop! Listen.
Help! Help us, please! Help!
It's a man.
Go! Go help him!
There's a child too, a girl.
Hurry now!
Are you sure you're okay?
Yes, it's just a little scratch. Go!
Get the girl. Please.
I have her.
Come on now, sit.
Thank you.
Are you all right, mate?
We are now. Because of you.
What were you doing out there?
The storm. A few nights back. It took out our ship. I tried to swim us to safety. But I got too tired. So I found that piece of wood and we've been drifting ever since. When I saw the island, I tried to paddle our way. But she can't swim, so I had to balance both her and the board. Keep her head above the water.
Is she alive, Elena?
Yes, but she is very
She's
weak.
been in and out of... She's been in and out of consciousness for days.
Let me see her.
What is your name?
Kwesi.
And hers?
Bahia, I think.
Is she not yours?
No. I didn't even know there were children on the vessel.
Where were you headed?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
He must have hit his head.
No, it isn't that. In my village, I am the healer, the doctor. Whenever word comes that help is needed, I travel to my brothers and sisters in need. I often don't know where I'm going or who with.
That is so kind of you.
But not very smart.
There you go. Good girl. You're going to be all right.
Here, I'll take her.
No, you stay. Silas, can you carry her to the fire?
Of course.
Let's all go to the fire to get warm. Here, I'll help you up.
Are you sure?
She's stronger than she looks. Elena here climbed that tree, made us a shelter all by herself.
So you're not just pretty. You're smart, too.
Come now. Let's get you in the tent.
Chapter 8. The Beans.
You didn't have to wash our clothes.
They are hardly washed, just rinsed and hung to dry.
Well, I appreciate it. And here, I weaved this basket to help you carry them back and forth.
Elena, look!
What is it, little one?
A sea turtle, look!
Oh, you're right. Stunning.
It really is. And an inspiring messenger, too. Do you know the meaning of the water turtle?
I'm afraid I do not.
They are an ancient symbol of home. Not only do they carry all the wisdom and history of our Earth, but even after years of being away, they always know how to come back to the sandy shore they were born upon.
Really?
Of course. That is why they say when you see one, to listen to the calling of your heart. It is guiding you to where you truly belong.
I want one!
Bahia, come back. You should be resting.
It's okay. Let her play.
I'm glad she's feeling better.
Me too. I wish we could say the same for Lucia. How is she this morning?
In pain. The fever is taking hold of her body.
I'm so sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about.
I wish I could do something, is what I mean. Do you think she'll let me look at it?
At the scratch?
Yes. Maybe I could help.
I'm sure I could convince her.
Come then.
Good morning, Lucia.
Is that you, Elena?
It's me.
I've missed you.
I've only been down at the water, hanging our clothes to dry.
You are such a good girl.
Lucia, would it be okay if Kwesi looks at your leg?
I mean, I'm fine with it. But what would Jeremiah say?
I think he'd say, there is more than enough of her to go around.
Oh, enough, you.
Can you sit up?
I can try.
Here, lean on me.
May I touch it?
Only if you buy me a drink first.
I'm glad to see your humor is still intact. That is a good sign.
What do you think?
Didn't you say she was scratched?
Yes, when she was in the woods.
This is a snake bite.
What?
Yes, a snake. But he just scratched a little.
Snakes do not scratch. They bite.
Oh dear.
Why didn't you tell us?
I thought I would be fine. Besides, I didn't want any of you to worry with all the excitement about Kwesi and the girl. I just...
Elena, I need you and Silas to go into the jungle. There is a plant. I need its seeds.
What does it look like?
It is like a bean.
Magic beans, like in the storybooks.
Yes, magic beans. In a pod, smooth and silky on the outside.
I think I've seen them on the south side of the shore.
She still has time, but go now. The sooner we can get the venom from her body, the better.
Let's go.
Can I come with you?
Not this time, little one.
Well, I want to help.
Perhaps you can gather some seashells for Lucia. You know how she loves them. Can you do that for me?
Mm-hmm.
Silas, wait up!
I feel so dumb.
There's no need for that.
If only I had asked her, if I had looked.
Silas, she is a stubborn woman. She will not reveal what she doesn't wish you to see.
And look where it got her. Now her life is in the balance.
Don't say that. We'll find the beans.
How can you be so sure?
I can't be. But there is no use expecting the worst.
That is where you're wrong. If you always expect the worst, you'll never be disappointed.
But then won't you always feel down and worried and scared? That's no way to live. Wasting away your days in fear.
I suppose that is the benefit of not having a meaningful life.
Now hold on. I know we have our differences. We don't see things the same way, but your life is meaningful.
It wasn't. Not until Lucia. She was the first person in this world who ever showed me an ounce of kindness. I was 7 when I was sold to the ship, to Captain Lester. He stripped me of my name, my clothes, my dignity, and hoped I'd someday be worth the few coins he paid for me. So, he kicked me to the ground, held out a scrub brush and a bucket. Lucia, she held out her hand, helped me up, taught me to read, taught me that I was something, someone worth loving.
What about your parents?
Didn't have any.
Well, you have to have parents, otherwise...
Yes, of course I had parents, but they died, or they gave up on me, or something. I don't remember. My earliest memory, I was being carted off around with other boys my age, being sold off to the highest bidder. But they never wanted me. I wasn't strong enough, or tall enough, or pale enough.
Silas.
Tatami,
I'm sorry?
my real name. At least the one I remember. My name is Tatami.
It suits you.
What? You don't think I look like a Silas McLemore? I like it when you smile. It makes me feel like everything's gonna be all right.
It will be.
I can't lose her. I can't. She's my only friend in this world.
That's not true.
It is.
No. Silas, Tatami, I am your friend.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
No,
We need to find the beans.
Right. They should be here. I know I saw them here before.
There, up on that limb.
Your knife?
Here, take it. I'll lift you.
I have them. Let me down slowly. Silas?
We should go.
We should. Kwesi, I have the beans. Here. Take them, please.
I'm sorry. The venom spread too far.
But you said we had time.
I didn't know.
But you said!
Silas.
No.
Silas, let me...
Don't touch her!
I'm trying to
You
help.
didn't help. You can't help. Lucia, look at me. Open your eyes and look at me. I need you. Do you hear me? I can't do this alone.
You don't have to.
You need to hold on, Lucia. I found the beans.
Magic.
Yes. Yes, I found the magic beans.
No. You found the magic. I knew you would.
No. No, please, Lucia. Please. I'm not ready. I can't lose you too. Chapter 9. The Dance. Then under, and now over, back under,
Like this
just like that.
and over again?
You got it.
She likes you.
I like her too.
Are we not all done?
Look at that. Now you have your very own bear. What will you name him?
Maddie!
Very nice to meet you, Maddie.
I'm sorry.
For what?
She keeps taking all your time.
Oh, no. No, it is a good distraction. I need it. I don't feel much like writing in my book these days.
Your book? Yes. I wanted to ask. I noticed you always have it with you.
Out of habit, I suppose.
So you are a writer?
Me? No, not truly. When I was home, I would go out into the forest and just watch. If something caught my eye, I'd talk to it, write it a note, or even draw it in my book. I suppose I simply enjoy documenting what goes on around me.
That is a beautiful quality. To have the presence and quiet of mind that allows you to notice the world. Will you show me?
The world?
I wouldn't say no. But I meant your book.
Oh.
Unless it's too private.
No, it's not that. No one has ever cared enough to ask before.
Well, I'm asking now.
You are? Yes. Here, let me show you.
Oh, Elena, this stone building? You drew this?
Mm-hmm. My home. Or what used to be my home.
It looks nice.
It was. The back window overlooked an open field where horses roamed, and the fire was always going, even on warm days. It always left the faintest hint of smoke and ember in all our belongings. Sometimes I think I can still smell it when the wind blows just right. It wasn't much, but it was enough.
Enough is often all we need. But it's also important to honor our needs, never settling for less than we deserve. And this?
Oh, that is...
No. Wait. Don't tell me. I know this flower. It is purple, yes?
You do?
Yes. It smells sweetly and crisp, yet it seems to warm you inside, like a spice.
Yes.
How do you do that?
At the church, the one I lived by, the sisters there taught me to draw.
No, not that. Your eyes. When you laugh, they light up. They glow like moonbeams. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry. Losing Lucia cannot be easy.
Thank you. But I only knew her for a short time. I'm worried about Silas.
If he needed to be worried about, he would tell you.
You don't know him. He isn't the ask for help type.
I'd say your worry is misplaced. He seems to be handling it just fine. Besides, all that busy energy is good. We'll have an entire village erected by the time he's done building and rearranging our camp. Are you ready for her burial? The sun is almost down.
I don't know. This will be the first funeral I will have been to.
Really?
Other than my mother's, but I was so young. I don't remember much other than the black clothing all around me.
Only black?
Yes. It is a tradition when in mourning.
In my village, a burial is not something to only mourn. It is also something to be celebrated.
You celebrate death?
Yes, because death is not the end. It is a new beginning. Souls travel beyond what we see here. They become our protectors, our guardians, our guides. As our ancestors, they show us the way. And that is something to be happy about.
That sounds lovely.
It is. Celebrating the life of our family is one of the greatest honors there is. We sing and play the drums. We dance around the fire.
I want to dance.
Do you now?
Will you dance with me?
That is a great idea, Bahia. Why don't we dance?
Now?
No, not now, but soon. After Lucia's burial. We can celebrate. We can sing and dance her way into the afterlife. Keep her spirit alive.
I think she'd like that.
Like what?
Oh, Silas, you startled me.
What would she like?
A celebration of her life. Singing and dancing, instead of crying and moping about.
I think we should wait for Jeremiah.
Silas, we don't know when he'll return.
And in this heat, she will not keep. It's imperative we get her to her burial soon.
Kwesi was telling me about the traditions from his village and how important it is to celebrate family. We just thought that maybe...
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. I want to celebrate her.
Good. Let us go now and lay her to rest.
No. I'm sorry, but I can't. I can't be the one.
I understand. We've already prepared a resting place. Elena made her a cross, and Bahia made her a necklace. May I be the one then to cover her?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Kwesi.
Of course. I will go now. Bahia, come. You can gather some things for our dance.
Thank you.
For?
Being open to this.
Are you implying that I'm not always open?
I just meant...
I know. I need to be. I've spent my whole life closed off. And Lucia tried. She tried to help me. Help open my heart, my eyes, and that deserves a celebration.
It does. I'm glad you can see that.
I can. I see everything so much clearer now. Why is it always that way?
I once heard her say that we don't know how good we have it until that good is gone. And that is why we must believe that everything is good, even when it doesn't feel that way.
She said that to you too? And here I was thinking I was special. Amazing. How wonderful she was. Even though the world wasn't always wonderful to her, even though I wasn't always wonderful to her, I never want to forget the way she made me feel. I only hope I could do the same for someone else someday. Well, it finally happened, Lucia. You broke me open, just like you always wanted to. I just wish you had been here to see it.
I know. Do you know what I wish? I wish we had biscuits.
Me too.
Silas, Elena, come to the fire.
Are you ready?
Only if you are.
I am.
It is done.
Thank you, Kwesi.
Yes. Thank you.
Here. Whiskey. We normally use rum, but it will do.
What do we do with it?
We pour it in a bowl, leaving it out as an offering to our ancestors.
Absolutely not. Waste whiskey? You do that and Lucia's gonna roll right out of the grave you just put her in.
He's right.
Let's drink it. Raise a glass in her memory.
Is that okay?
Of course. This is your celebration. I'm just here to guide you.
How do we begin?
I will drum. You two, let the rhythm move you. Your body, your words, your tears. Nothing is off limits. Just let yourself free.
Silas, just say what you feel.
Here, I'll start. To Lucia, who extended kindness to me and Bahia.
To Lucia, for always saving me the last bites of her food.
To Lucia, for helping me feel comfortable.
To Lucia.
Oh.
No. None for you. Keep going. Move. Dance.
To Lucia, for teaching me how to read and write.
To Lucia, for sharing her wisdom with me.
To Lucia, for always making me laugh.
To Lucia, for showing me a woman can be strong and soft at the same time.
To Lucia, for always having my back, even when she knew I was wrong.
To Lucia, for opening my eyes to magic.
To Lucia, the woman who always saw the best in everything and everyone, even me.
To Lucia, she was my soft place to land. I knew I was safe with her.
For teaching me to see the world in a different light.
To all the ridiculous songs she'd make up and sing to me.
For being
You were
a mother,
like a
I
mother
never
to me.
had.
I think you're drunk.
Is that what this feeling is? Oh, maybe I should go.
Stay. Both of you.
Wait with me. Look at all the lights.
Those are stars.
Stars?
They appear to be moving. Must be the whiskey.
No, they are moving. Every night they dance across the sky.
Actually, it is not the stars that move. It is us.
I am not moving.
Not now. The Earth. It spins, and so the sun and the moon, the stars, they all appear to move, but it is just us.
Did you make that up?
No, I read it in a book.
All right, princess.
I did.
I believe you.
So do I.
Good.
Do you think she's up there looking down on us?
She never looked down at me. That's what made her so special.
I'm going to miss her.
I already do.
When day is done and night is near, I close my eyes without fear. For I know my deed is done. I can rest, I need not run. So with a prayer in my heart, a new day comes, my new world starts.
Chapter 10, The Fight. That is not how that cliff looks.
Sure it is.
You need to draw a line there. May I show you?
Of course. Here.
There. Efe.
Efe. What does that mean?
It is beautiful.
I like that. It is beautiful.
Yes, you are.
You're such a talented artist. Why did you become a healer instead?
It was my destiny.
Your destiny?
Yes, it was written in the stars.
How do you know?
Because that is what was foretold by those who came before me.
And you just believed them?
Of course. They are my elders.
Is that what you wanted for your life? To be a medicine man?
Do you always ask so many questions?
Oh.
No, don't stop. It charms me. Elena, I was born to be a healer.
But how do you know what you're born to... Oh, I'm sorry.
I've always wanted to help people. So when the path was presented to me, I took it. There's a great relief in knowing our elders can gift us their experience and insight. It makes life more certain. I am grateful to have been born to a family that knew what was best for me. Or else I wouldn't have ended up here, in the right place.
Shipwrecked on an island doesn't exactly swell gratitude to the rest of us.
I understand that, Silas, but it's about perspective. I don't see us being here as a punishment or a trick of fate.
None of us belong here, though. We could not have known the storm would come. And in that way, is it not true that we're all in the wrong place?
It's easy to look around and see what has gone wrong, but it is so much wiser to look around and see what we found instead. Surviving the storm, coming to this island, meeting you, Elena. This is my second chance.
A second chance. That is what my father told me, too. That this voyage was a second chance.
And so you must trust that.
That isn't so easy for me. I was raised to think freely, to feel and learn for myself. My father sending me here was completely unexpected and unlike him. And I'm not sure if it has left me doubting him or myself more. How do I trust anyone now?
Those who came before us have more insight, more experience and years in this world. When they guide us, they do it from knowledge and love. Doing what is expected of you shouldn't be seen as punishment, but as a path forged from knowingness. Think of it this way. I am a healer. When someone asks for me, it is because they need help, because they trust my wisdom. My experience with medicine is greater than theirs. If they follow my recommendations and let me do what I know, I can help them. If they do not, their sickness will prevail.
I never really thought of it that way.
You do not jump into water without knowing how to swim. Let others show you how.
How about a meal before today's swimming lessons?
Yes, I am getting hungry. I promised Bahia we would go on an adventure today, gathering fruit and nuts from the trees.
Here, let me help you up. Would you like any company?
Not today. This is going to be a girls-only trip, right, Bahia?
Right.
Well, don't let her get you into any mischief. She's a troublemaker, I can tell.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Get over here.
I don't mind coming with you, honestly. I'll bring my bow. Maybe find us a bird to eat.
You stay. It'll be good for us ladies to have some time alone. And you too.
But I won't be alone.
That is my point. Some brotherly bonding.
Take my knife and yell if you need anything. Anything.
I will.
You will?
I promise.
Now go on. Get along, you two.
Maddie Bear.
Oh, can't go anywhere without your bear now, can you? Here.
We'll be back soon.
I was thinking of doing a little fishing. Would you like to join me?
That's all right. I don't want to wander too far off in case the ladies need me.
I know I haven't known Elena as long as you have, but she doesn't strike me as the type who needs rescuing.
Neither was Lucia.
I see. Well, you can join me if you'd like. May be good for you. Give you something else to think about and focus on. Unless you don't know how to fish.
Don't know how.
Spearfishing isn't as easy as a line and hook.
That isn't a spear, it's a stick.
That makes it even more difficult.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to show you how?
I'm sure I can figure it out.
Of course. But you know, you'll need to get your hands dirty. This isn't a gentleman's sport.
Do I strike you as a gentleman?
No, you don't. That is why I'm confused to see you pretending to be one for Elena.
There is no pretending. Elena knows who I am.
But do you know who she is? Or what she wants?
How do you mean?
I see the way you look at her.
And how is that?
With longing, with lust. You do know she is betrothed.
I am well aware.
I'm just trying to protect you both.
From what? Actually having a moment of happiness in our lives?
Happiness is not what you have in common. It is grief, sadness.
Well, that is more than you have with her.
Silas, this isn't a competition.
Is it not?
Do you think if she had to choose between us, she'd have any trouble deciding?
Get to the point.
Silas, I'm a doctor. You... Her father sent her away so she could have a life of ease and joy, a life without hardship. Do you really believe you can give that to her?
Silas, Kwesi, look.
Look at all those berries.
How'd I do?
I think you may be the best berry picker on the whole island.
Is that good?
You bet it is.
There you all are.
Are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. I could hardly keep up with her.
Do you want to sit?
She said she is fine.
I heard her. I'm just making sure.
Thank you, but I'm fine. Really.
See?
What is going on here?
Nothing. We're just trying to catch some fish. Make a big feast for you tonight.
I don't need a feast. What we have is plenty.
See?
Don't confuse her politeness with what she truly deserves in this life.
You think I don't know what she deserves?
Silas,
That woman has been through hell. She doesn't need any more reason to feel pain.
that woman is standing
Do you
right
have an
here.
idea what pain is? You can heal a cut or broken bone. But do you know what it means to have a broken heart?
I have known many moments of brokenness, and I have never let it define me or change how I treat another soul.
And that makes you better than me.
In many ways, yes.
Please stop.
There is no difference between us here. We're both on this island, both stranded away from who we were, what we know.
Silas, please.
And if the captain does not come back for us, both of us will be buried in the sand before summer's through.
Then I hope you go first, so we can dance on your grave too. Celebrate a life that almost mattered.
Kwesi!
You pompous son of a bitch!
You want to hit me?
Kwesi, stop!
Go ahead. Prove my point. Show her who you really are.
Stop! Shame on you. Both of you. What makes either of you think that I would go running into the arms of a man who has never once taken the time to ask me how I feel, instead of presuming my heart's intentions right in front of me? I have a voice, and I intend to use it. And if you want to steal that voice from me and to decide for me, then you are no better than anyone. And you certainly don't deserve a second glance from me, let alone my affection.
Elena.
No. Bahia, let's go.
Elena, please. I'm sorry.
If you are sorry, do not tell me. Show me. Show me.
Chapter 11. The Return. Good morning, Elena.
And to you.
I know you asked for a few days of privacy.
It's okay, Silas. What do you need? Is everything all right?
Yes, nothing is wrong. It's just... Bahia and I have prepared breakfast for you. We'd love it if you joined us.
I picked the fruit.
You did? And Kwesi? Where is he?
Just fetching some water from the waterfall.
Why don't I go find him so we can all eat together?
I'm sure he'll be...
It's no bother. I'd like us all to be together. I'll be right back. And here you are, taking a nice quiet dip. Aren't you supposed to be gathering water?
How do you think I do that?
Is it nice?
It's perfect. Why don't you come in?
I would, but the others are waiting for us.
Let them wait.
Kwesi.
Okay, then don't come in.
Aren't you coming?
I don't think you want me getting out just yet.
And why not?
I'm not wearing any clothes.
Oh,
You may want to turn around.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
No need to be sorry.
I know. I just...
Elena, it's all right. I'm covered now.
Thank you. I mean, I'm sorry. I never would have asked you to get out had I known you were undressed. I'm not like that. I would
You're
never...
embarrassed.
Aren't you?
It's just a body. We all have one.
Of course we do. It's just that I've never seen...
Elena, you have no reason to be embarrassed or to feel shame.
That isn't what I'm feeling.
Are you curious?
Kwesi, we really should.
Wait, Elena, look at me. This is the first time we've been alone in days. I've given you space as you needed, but I need to speak from the heart. There's something here between us. We're the same. It is the reason we have both found ourselves here on this island. I know it when you look at me. I know better now than to assume I know who you are or what you want. So I'm asking, would it be all right if I kiss you?
Right here?
Where else?
Oh, no.
I'm sure it's fine.
No, I must go to them.
Just stay. Let us talk about this. Elena, slow down.
Silas?
Elena!
Bahia!
Elena, please.
Elena, look, a rowboat.
Rowboat?
And the ship!
The ship? A ship?
Kwesi, look, a boat.
It is, indeed.
Oh, my heart. I am so happy. Isn't it great?
It is. It is great.
Don't look so glum. You get to go home now.
We all do.
Ahoy there, friend.
Captain!
Oh, Jeremiah, I am so happy to see you.
Oh, the feeling is mutual, darling. You picked up a few more along the way, I see.
So have you.
Funny who offers to help when you tell them there's some lovely ladies in need of rescuing.
Nice to meet you, sir. I'm Kwesi.
Captain Jeremiah Warren.
And this is Bahia.
Bahia? What a beautiful name.
Hello, Captain.
Hello, little one. You wouldn't happen to know anyone around here who likes biscuits, do you?
Biscuits?
2 baskets with butter, as promised. Now, where's that bride of mine?
Oh,
Oh,
Captain,
What is it, Silas?
I'm so sorry.
No. No. This is just trickery on her part. She's hiding around here somewhere.
Jeremiah.
No. No, I haven't been gone but 1 moon. Lucia. Why, Lucia? How?
It was a snake bite. We didn't know. She told us she only had been scratched.
By the time the fever set in, it was too late.
I'm sorry.
As am I. She was my light.
That she was. In the short time I knew her, she was amazing.
She was incredible. And I am so grateful you shared her with me for all those years.
I don't think I had much choice, boy. She was smitten with you. We always wanted children. Tried for years. Never happened.
I didn't know.
You were the best thing that ever happened to her. And she was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Did you love her?
Well, that's a silly question. Of course I loved her. I still do. And always will.
But neither of you ever said it.
When we were married, the idea of a marriage for love was so far out of either of our minds. My own ma and pa, they never exchanged words or glances of kindness. I always thought the reason they got married was from necessity, not love or even pleasure. In fact, being a sailor, I never thought I would know the warm touch of a woman, let alone the affection of one. Not only did I think our marriage was doomed, I thought they all were. An arranged marriage. Practically between children. And at sea, the odds were against us.
So you don't believe in love?
Well, quite the opposite, dearie. Love has nothing to do with words, and everything to do with what exists in the silence between 2 hearts.
Silence. With Lucia?
Exactly. I knew I'd never win her heart with words. They'd simply be lost in the sea of all she spoke.
Then how did she know you loved her?
Because I showed her. Every day. I showed her through her favorite foods, taking her to places that would excite her soul. I needed to give her a life that would take her breath and her words away.
And it worked.
Aye, of course it worked. That's because as time went by, we both realized one very important thing.
What was that?
Love is not something you find. It's something you grow. Where is she? I'd like to visit her.
I'll show you, sir.
Thank you.
Me too. I've made a necklace for her grave.
Oh, did you know? I can't wait to see it.
Are you okay?
No.
That's not what you're supposed to say.
I'm sorry for the way I treated you.
Silas.
I am. But the way I acted was rude and unfair. No one deserves that, especially not you. Do you forgive me?
Of course I do. Didn't you hear what the captain said? About not needing words?
I did, though I didn't quite understand it.
When I met you, your words were hurtful. They were cruel and unkind. But underneath them, you were checking to see how I felt. And hurrying me along to get me to safety. You, quite stupidly, got in a rowboat in the middle of a storm to get me and Lucia to dry land. You let me explore. climb trees. And when my heart was hurting, you saw that. You saw me.
Elena.
I don't know if that is love, but I do know that I am going to miss you.
Miss me?
When we leave, when we get to port,
You're still going through with it?
do I have a reason not to?
Impressive, you two. That is quite the setup. And here I was worried about you. I probably could have enjoyed port for at least another set.
We're glad you're here, Cap.
Me too. I'll have the Tarjacks prepare your things and load the ship.
If it wouldn't be too much of a bother, sir, I'd love passage back home, back to my village.
Of course, Kwesi.
And when we arrive, we can cook a feast for you, all of you, to say thank you. There is room for any of you to feast or to stay.
Oh,
What about me?
What about you?
Where will I go?
Well, I did see the beautiful craftsmanship of that necklace you made, and as luck would have it, I need a necklace maker aboard my ship. Now, I can only feed you an adventure, far-off places, exotic ports, new foods, but the job is yours if you want it.
Can you feed me biscuits instead?
I'll feed you both.
Deal.
Ha! Excellent.
Her heart is happy.
He is a good kid.
No. I mean Lucia. She would have wanted this for you.
Well, someone has to keep me young now. Will you be joining us, Silas?
You ask me as if I have a choice.
Oh, Silas, you've always had a choice. You just never knew enough of who you were to decide where you could go. But I can see that change now.
Huh.
So what'll it be?
I choose to be here, with you. This is where I belong.
I'm proud of you, son. And what about you, Elena? Where can I take you?
home.
Must have backed your father, then.
No, that's not my home anymore.
Oh, then where?
By Way of the Sea was written as a choose-your-own-ending adventure. Listen next to our 4 possible endings and let us know which one you chose.
When Jeremiah asked to take me home, I knew immediately what that meant to me. Just like Lucia told me, home isn't a place. It is a feeling. No, I didn't go back to Father. And though I wanted to obey his wishes, I just couldn't go through with my arranged marriage. I needed to be free. When we arrived to Areta, I saw him, my husband, waiting for me. But I froze in fear. Jeremiah saw and quickly brought me back to the ship before anyone noticed. We didn't have to speak any words. We both knew. Areta was not my home. When we set sail that night, he told me not to worry. I'd know when I found it. After Kwesi returned to his village and we explored a few more ports, I saw it. The purple flower. It was dancing in the wind on a small path that led away from the pier in a small town called Melisna. It had trees that reminded me of the church's forest, yet it was nestled in a small bay that smelled just like the island. It was the place where all parts of me could be free. And although I am here without my new friends or family, it is the place I now call home. When we arrived to Areta, Silas carried my trunk to the pier. We all said our goodbyes one by one. Jeremiah, Bahia, Kwesi. When I turned to say goodbye to Silas, he was gone. I wanted to be angry, but I knew. I knew he couldn't say goodbye again. So, I took a deep breath. I walked a few steps, and then I heard him yell my name. When I turned, I saw him, standing in front of the ship, tears rolling down his face. So I ran to him, our bodies intertwined, his arms wrapped around me, his hand on the back of my head. I could feel his heart beating in mine. I like to think that was the moment I knew. But I think we all knew long before then that there was magic between us. That we were always each other's home. With only one stop at port before Kwesi had to return to his village, we made the most of our time together. Though our kiss had been interrupted, our moment at the waterfall sparked something inside of me. I was intrigued. Something about him reminded me of home. Perhaps it was his deep fatherly affection towards Bahia. He insisted we take her for a picnic at port before he returned home. Watching him watch her showed me everything I needed to know. When it came time for him to return to his village, he kept his promise. His family held a giant feast for us with singing, dancing, and the most delicious foods I have ever tasted. And although I didn't understand the exact words they used, he tells me that they were making fun of him for wearing such gentlemanly clothes. But instead of making him change, they wrapped me in a beautiful handmade fabric and taught me to dance beside them. This is what I want. This feeling. This family. Kwesi. This is home. Areta is the place I now call home. Being on the Atlas, meeting Lucia and Jeremiah, I now understand why my father acted as he did. Though he couldn't have known the true outcome, he gave me the chance to find a new kind of home. To find love and magic for myself. I was terrified. Like Lucia, I pictured my husband as a malicious beast, but when I saw him, I saw me. A young soul who was being pushed towards a life they didn't quite understand or choose. And while he started as a stranger, August has quickly become my friend. He loves to hear stories from the island, and I love to tell them. We are learning about life. And love, and ourselves, together. And that is a very good place for me.
Thank you for listening to Eralore Studios by Way of the Sea. Eralore Studios is a family-owned and female-led storytelling brand and production company dedicated to creating connections through original characters and stories inspired by eras gone by. With a mission to spotlight visual and performing artists through stories that showcase the strength of the human spirit, Eralore seeks to create a safe place and a celebrated stage for creative collaboration in the arts. Stay Busy is transforming the business card industry into a digital, more sustainable entity. For more information about our collaboration partner, please visit staybusy.com.